How long is
It depends how long you're interesting for.
Okay.
We've had episodes go upwards of an hour. We've had them last about 20 minutes.
Sometimes it's a struggle. It's just me and him.
Yeah, sometimes we're like, So what's going on, everybody? Welcome to this Degenerate Life. Very special guest here.
Long-time listener, first-time guest. So you got banned. You were telling us you got banned from a couple comedy mics.
Yeah, that was like a million years ago. Like, I think
How old are you?
I got in. I'm 21. I'll be 22 next month. I got in trouble for like filleting a mic.
Filleting?
Does that mean
Yeah.
sucking on it?
Yeah, I put the whole top in my mouth.
Like fellatio.
Yeah, and like I.
What's the Latin root?
Yeah, I couldn't come to like I forget what that was, like Blacktop or Comedy Spot. I think I got banned from Comedy Spot for a little bit because like I showed up there like hella drunk and I was underage and they were like, oh, you can't.
Did you talk about that on stage?
Yes.
You're like, so much. It's tough being a drunk ass 19-year-old in front of all you bitches.
Yeah.
The bartender still sells me beer.
No,
Shout out bartender.
The place next door doesn't even ID. They got tacos.
Yeah. On the Y is like a great place.
Did you get banned? Were you the one that threw the rocks through the window on the Y?
No, but that was like my friend's date at the time.
Who was it?
Some crazy bitch.
Comedy and crazy bitches.
Yo. On the Y is a cool place because that was like one of the first mics that I hit when I started out doing comedy, and I was 19. I was underage, but they didn't. No, wait. I don't want to talk about that shit over here. I'm gonna get them in trouble.
Honestly, my story about On the Y is one time I went there. Like I've been there like 4 or 5 times. Like I know the mic, but I'm not a regular like open micer down in Sac or by any means. But one time I went there and they were like, "Hey, just a heads up. Last week somebody got date raped here. Did you date rape them?" And they were like asking me because I was like the new guy there, and my fucking was like.
They were like, "Oh, he's from Chico, date rapist."
That's a fair point. That is a fair point. And the other time was
like, check please.
Yeah. I fucking probably drank in the parking lot like a normal person.
Yeah.
You drank in the parking lot like every Sacramento comic.
So tell me about that mic. Do you think that mic will ever make it back?
Yeah.
Or should ever make it back?
Yeah, it definitely should. It may or may not be going on right now underground, but I don't know anything.
Are they running that mic right now?
I don't know anything about that. You didn't hear shit from me, son. No.
They need to stop being pussies and just like announce it.
No.
Is it like they're doing it, but they're like not doing it?
That's funny because Ed Mina is like he always runs at him and like Danny and Luna, and Ed has been one of those COVID people that believes in it a lot, and they're like, "Fucking wear your mask," you know. So
Yeah.
cool to see him doing a comedy show in person indoors.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I seen him show up to Joey C's mic.
Yeah.
Unmasked.
Unmasked. Wow. Unbelievable. Typical.
Got pissed off.
He'll show up wearing a mesh mask. Like I was at a Hobby Lobby earlier. Don't ask me why I was at a fucking Hobby Lobby, everybody. I saw somebody like trying to walk in with a mesh mask, and I was like, what the fuck?
I got one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wearing a mesh mask makes about as much sense as wearing a fishnet sock on your cock. You know, when you fuck.
Yeah.
And like you know, you have a kid
Because it hurts the other person.
No, because like you get the swimmers out better. You know, you got a kid.
No mesh condom needed.
No,
I have a mesh mask. Like it's like awesome. I'm an anti-masker. Send your hate mail.
You always put me in situations where I'll just like have my mask on just complacently. And then they'll be right next to each other, and they're like, I've never seen a group of people. Every time I go out with you, they're fucking make you put a mask on. Anybody else, they're just like, fuck it.
Wait, like when? The pizza place?
The pizza place.
What pizza place?
Mod Pizza.
Studio, right?
The studio, and she was being kind of a bitch about it.
She was a little cunty, right? I'd never seen her before.
Yeah, I mean, she was really cute and like a nice bartender, but the first thing she says when he walks in, she's like, wow, you coronavirus is new for you?
I thought they were joking at first. The other ones don't care.
Yeah, I was surprised she didn't ID me. She like had all these fucking demands and stuff, and
Yeah.
never asked for my ID. But I mean, I do go there way too much. So
Have
Yeah,
seen her
you
before?
look like the most 24-year-old, 14-year-old. So like
I look like a code red lockdown out of school.
he looks like Code Red.
Keeping the bangs for a minute.
Ew, his hair. You
Is it
look
true
like
you
fucking-
Venmo'd him money for a haircut?
Yeah, because I was
$20.
like, he looks like fucking Simple Jack from Tropic Thunder.
I do.
Like, I look at him like that haircut says, "I speak with a lisp."
You know, Simple Jack was a god amongst the Vietnamese people. You knew that. They like worshipped him in that movie because they loved Simple Jack.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
It was like the only movie they had because
yeah,
they, like,
they're in the jungle.
yeah, and he
Yeah.
was like fucking their deity.
You had to
Probably-
keep doing it, right?
Yeah, he had to keep it up, which is cool. You know, I keep staying in character.
Probably one of the few people who thinks Robert Downey Jr. looks better black than white.
He was a better actor, black.
Yeah, that's right.
He would never win an Oscar though.
Yeah.
What if you could just do black things better when he has blackface and that's it? Like he has a worse credit score.
Yeah, gotta do a Tyler Perry movie.
You should.
He's on. He's in it.
How long have you been doing comedy?
I've been doing comedy. I've been doing comedy since like I was 19, 2018. Yeah.
19 or 18? I didn't hear you.
18,
I'm deaf.
19.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I was a baby. Still am a baby.
Where was the first place you did stand up?
Luna's Cafe at there's like a whole ass story behind how I got into stand up, but I don't know. I'd probably save that for my memoirs since we're like on a time constraint. But yeah, I met a comic and he gave me pointers and he made me go to Luna's and there was a few people I remember like my very first open mic, I like to sit by the stage. I like to sit as close as I can to the stage. The first time
Most comics do.
Yeah, the first time I did that is because I wanted them to like, I don't know, roast me or say something about me.
Mm-hmm.
I did that for the first comedy show that I ever went to also, like, because, I don't know, somebody told me that the most dangerous thing at a comedy show is a hot girl, and I've always been super self-aware, so I was like, okay, let's sit close to the front, let's see what happens.
Did anything happen?
No, just people fucking me with their eyes, like, on stage, lots of eye contact. I'm like, okay, this is a thing.
I remember one time I went to a show at Punchline. It was like just a bringer show. It was like one of Jimmy Earl's or something.
Yeah.
And I went to see like I think I went to see Dustin Wood or something. But they sat me right in the fucking front row. They're like, "Is this okay? Is this okay with you?" And I was like, "Absolutely not, dude. Like, there's no play. If it was like somebody I really loved, like a famous comedian, I'd be like, okay, let's like get me as close as possible. But like a regular comedy show, I'm just like, I think I was trying to go like fucking talk in the back or something.
I don't care. I'm a fucking front row comic till the end of forever.
I wish
like,
more
I'll
were.
always sit in the front.
Most comics are not even sit in the showroom. Oh god.
You called it.
Get out of here! We're recording.
Great,
Guest appearance by Mr. Dylan's dad.
Yeah.
We gotta have like
oh shit!
we gotta.
This is what we're doing.
Why do you have the camera there today?
Because we wanted to make sure to get all of you if you decided to interrupt. What's funny about that is he's probably legitimately mad, and I will be hearing about that later.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like, oh, her lash is like fucking pterodactyl.
He probably wouldn't have left if you weren't here, though. If it was another guy comic, he would be like, "Ah, fuck that! Move over, David Thorne."
Yeah.
David Thorne.
If Mitch was here, he'd call him retarded.
Did he come in for Kiki's podcast? I forget.
I think he did, dude. I think
I'm
so.
retarded. He should come back. Like,
You guys can hit it off.
yeah.
Yeah, he called Mitch. You know, he called Mitch retarded.
We didn't call him retarded. He asked if he was retarded.
Oh,
He was
okay.
like, "Can I ask you something?" I thought he was gonna be like, "Are you fucking my son?" Because you're always over here in his room. That's what I thought he was gonna say. I was waiting for it, and I was gonna be very mad. I
Yeah.
was gonna be like, "How dare you? You think I couldn't do better than this? This is where his level you think I'm at?" But instead, he's like, "Mitch, are you retarded?" And he said it like, "You know where I'm coming from." And then he just denies that it ever happened. He's like, yeah, I never asked him that. I'm like,
It's like a rhetorical question. It wasn't a question.
right, you might be right about that one.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Oh shit, plug ahead.
Yeah, we talked about like every fucking podcast, I feel like.
Well, it always goes down like that.
I didn't come here for intelligent conversation. You guys.
You like Danny D'd, my dad. Like, did you see Danny D at the mic class? Somebody was blowing the light. She's like, get the fuck off stage.
Yeah.
I was like, queen.
I love Danny D.
Yes, queen. I was like,
Yes,
I need to learn. I need to fucking learn to be better.
Bro, she's gotten better.
Yeah, it's
So much better. Yeah.
Well, you can't go artist.
You can.
Danny
That's
D was
true, you actually
cool.
can.
Like I remember I started doing comedy in late 2018 through.
You can't tell me to get out of here.
I would like to.
Cheers.
Who do you think you
One of
are?
your buddy's beer.
All right.
Why are you shaped like an upside down Dorito? Like,
I don't understand what that is.
is.
An upside down Dorito.
Triangles, right? How's it upside?
I'm an upside down Dorito.
Yes.
No, see the comment. I'm not so sure about that.
Yeah, so I started doing comedy. I was actually doing music a long time before I got into stand-up comedy. I got into stand-up comedy in December of 2018, and through December of 2018 through April of 2019, I was hitting like an open mic almost every fucking day, like down in Sacramento, but I didn't have like transportation because I don't drive, so it was like just limited to places in and around Sac, like Luna's Cafe, Stab Comedy Theater, Comedy Spot. Where else?
What's the wokest place in Sac? Is it all of them? Is anywhere in Midtown?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I was underage, I couldn't go to a lot of the more challenging mics, the more challenging rooms, like Monty's Lounge. Where else? JB's Lounge, Touch a Class, Vince's.
They probably would have let you into Touch a Class. Well, maybe not.
Wooden or wood?
No, because the thing
wood.
is, like, I feel like when I started out, I was kind of just floating around places like Stab and Comedy Spot and Luna's. And those places are very, they just have like this, they just exude this, like, this air of complacency amongst the comics, you know, like very, you can't sit with us type thing, very like PC culture type thing. And I was like, I don't know,
You don't want to sit with them anyway.
yeah, I don't want to say what you want. But then, like, yeah.
Name names.
No.
We probably already talked shit about them on the podcast.
Yeah, y'all probably are. Yeah. They're cool people, though. I just...
Don't like them.
Yeah.
Well, they just have... They want to let you know that they don't like you. Which is good. I mean, that's actually a good quality in a person. Like, I would rather... I kind of appreciate the fact that some of them have been, like, straight up. Like, we don't like you and don't come back. Rather than just being like, yeah, thanks for coming.
I remember one
And talk
time...
shit later.
I remember one time somebody was like, they shat on me so hard when I started comedy because, like, I have a very loud laugh. And they're like, positive heckling is still heckling. And they look at me like, well, what the fuck do you want me to do? Laugh in lowercase letters? Like... What the fuck?
Do you remember who said that?
I don't know names.
Clearly you didn't get the format of this podcast.
Yeah.
We talk shit, we burn bridges.
I don't. What else?
You have a unique laugh.
Yeah, I have a pterodactyl laugh. I've been told. Yeah.
What else? What else?
I have an overgrown little girl laugh. That's what I've also been told. No, I'm not told. That's what I tell myself.
You have one of those laughs where if you just hear you laughing, you know you're bombing. It's kind of like how there's a few people, like at Sacramento,
I'll laugh at
Robert
anything.
Bass. You know Robert Bass? If you hear him, oh, you know you're doing horrible.
Yeah. Corey Finnegan.
Corey, or whatever, Robin.
You're one of them too. You have a pretty loud laugh.
I do. And my laugh is like, you know when the Joker's laughing at the comedy show at like all the wrong moments?
Yeah.
That's me laughing at you sucking. That's the only thing that makes me laugh at comedy shows.
I don't know, like, I feel like I'm one of the few comics who, when I go to open mics and shows, it's like, I still, like, I've never lost that, I've never lost the ability to have fun, because I feel like when I go to open mics and when I go to comedy shows, like I'm more, like I still feel like a member of the audience. You know, I still have like this wonder and joy when I go. It's like a very childlike thing when I go to like open mics and like shows. It's like, I don't care how many times I've listened to your joke. If it's funny, I'm gonna laugh at it.
I'm dead inside. So I wish I had that.
Yeah, a lot of you fuckers are dead inside because you've been doing it for a while, so I understand. But I'm only 21. I feel like I've got one more year left before I hate it. And I get married and get divorced immediately after and become single parent. Like, you know, I have enough time to do that.
What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, start your own comedy show and you'll want to quit. Dealing with people. The worst.
Everyone depends on you.
Everyone wants accommodation too. They're like, wow, they're gonna blame me for like.
You let your son walk around with this haircut?
Shit,
He needs a haircut.
You let your son.
I was gonna see if he wanted to go get a haircut because I need one too. Today. He looked like he didn't want to get up.
You're trying to do dad things with them now. Play catch. Go play catch on Sunday too. Go get you a nice
Go get hair.
I've had my moments.
Remember that hug you got?
I saved his life. It's the reason he's sitting there with you.
Well, could be the reason I'm not more successful in stand-up.
You could just say, you can't just say that. You gotta tell us the story now.
I'm not.
Okay.
It's a private story.
It's not that private.
Private.
Pretty private.
C'est vie privée. C'est une histoire
It's just,
privée.
I don't want to go into that.
Okay.
We can.
No.
Yeah, it'd take about an hour.
I know, that's what I'm afraid of. Just, you know, he was acting like this in social service, or Child Protective Services was like, yeah, he's interrupting his podcast too many times, so we're going to take him away.
Yeah.
And make him live with a family that cares more about him and his podcast.
You go come live with me or Paula?
I mean, that'd be nice. I'll take your GI Bill.
Okay. I mean, it's gone, actually.
Rip.
Yeah. I got a degree, though.
Oh my gosh, I have a funny story. So my ex's dad is like a former Marine, and I still die when I think about this. So we were like driving back to Sacramento from like Visalia where they were living, and like we stopped at like a Jack in the Box, and no, I can't tell this story. Yeah, his dad is one of those like ex-Marines who like drive up to like. Do you ever do that as an ex-Marine where you drive up to like fast food places and you demand to have a discount because you're a Marine?
No.
Yeah,
okay.
He didn't waste all his money.
Yeah,
I get a discount because I'm a frequent flyer.
Yeah. No, but like, do you ever like my ex's dad? It's like he would drive up to like the Jack in the Box drive-thru. And then he'd demand, like, a discount. He was like, oh, like, I didn't get shot in the ass in Okinawa for nothing.
Funny, has the same story as Forrest Gump.
Lieutenant Dan.
No, and then, like, the poor kid behind the window, I felt so embarrassed. He's like, I'll see what we can do about that. And you know what?
He's spitting your food.
And you know what he did? And you know what he did? He fucking pulled a Karen and he put he got his phone up and he started recording the poor kid at the window, and like he wasn't recording, he just like pulled up his phone to go like that, and he was like, oh yeah, that's how you make them work faster these days. You just get the phone out and you just put it, and I'm like,
it's a modern day whip.
I'd like to apologize to all
modern day whip.
Yeah, the modern day whip is the fucking phone. You just hold that. I'd like to issue an apology to all employees of Jack in the Box. And all like fast food employees too.
That Jack in the Box employee probably would have snapped, but every employee there already has at least one felony, so
yeah.
The last thing you can afford to do is get in a physical altercation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
Automatic parole violation.
Those are pretty stupid.
Like, I'm on the phone with your parole officer, bro.
Yeah.
Don't even try it. He said, if I don't get my food in 2 minutes, I'm going back to jail, bitch.
And in the fucking kitchen wearing 2 ankle bracelets.
Multiple counties.
Multiple counties. You got fucking Butte County on one ankle, Sac County. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I like to fuck with people, but not like that. Like, I don't really... I'll tell the people I love them. Yeah. Whatever.
It's always old people, in my experience, that ask for the military discount or a senior citizen's discount. Like, I'm a senior citizen and a military veteran, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, do you have the amount of money? Pay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it costs that much. I wish it was more right now. Just because you're a bitch.
I do ask for it. I used to ask for it at the movie theater, but they don't do that.
They're not even open.
Yeah, they're not open, and they hate America.
Yeah, it's clearly too dangerous.
That's normally the line I say if they don't do it. Why do you hate America?
Why do you hate America?
Like, I did not kill Iraqis to be denied.
Yeah.
25% off my popcorn.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anyway.
What else?
Shout out to brown people. Rest in peace.
Rip.
Rip. Rip in peace.
You gonna try any new bits tonight?
Yeah.
Let's hear it.
No.
Yeah, so like it's only cash only tonight, so I bet there's gonna be no crowd.
What's hilarious? Yeah, probably not. What's funny is, so TJ hit me up and he was like, "Could you tell everybody?" I like TJ too. I mean, I don't like him enough to have him on the podcast yet.
Yeah.
He's like, "Hey, could you tell everybody it's cash only tonight because the internet's down and I'm like banned from Facebook, so I can't fucking tell anybody."
He's paying from Facebook? What?
No, Facebook. They've disabled my account for 30 days.
Wait, what? Oh.
Cash out only at the lab tonight.
Yeah, only cash. So if you're watching this in the future, just know bring cash.
Cash app only? Like what?
Like dollar bills, not cash app.
Okay. No,
This can be annoying.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be bad for them. I mean, they're always understaffed and just struggling. So
Yeah.
but it is open mic night. So, like, who cares? Who cares, man? I'm getting drunk before the mic. Get drunk before the show. Don't be mad at the bar.
I love
yourself.
the lab. I have a lot of love for the lab. I feel like I owe a lot of my progression and growth as a comedian to hitting the open mic at the lab.
Yeah, don't give them the credit.
So what happened was in April of 2019, I thought I'd quit comedy forever.
What happened?
Hello. I was dating this guy who was hella abusive and controlling. Like, every time I go up on stage, like, the first problem was, oh, I don't like you saying all those dirty jokes because, like, it's disrespectful to me because I'm your boyfriend. And then, like, I stopped doing I did clean sets. I covered up more, and that still wasn't enough for him because he didn't like the attention that men were giving me. So he was very abusive and controlling, and he basically filled my head with lies that, like, oh, comedy's bad for you. Just look at all the people who do comedy. You don't want a solid point. You don't want to be one of them.
Seems like a good guy.
Yeah. So, and I believed him, so I quit comedy for him, and he would still do things like rape me. But I stuck around with him way longer than I should have. And when I actually got back into comedy because of the pandemic.
You want to kill people?
Yeah. So when the pandemic happened, I was just finding I'm a very social, extroverted person. So when we started to be indoors and not much was going on outside, like, I started tapping into ways to keep myself occupied and also be happy and have fun by myself. So I started getting into doing creative things again. Like, I started writing music again, writing poetry again. And then I started writing jokes again, which I never thought I'd do. And then I looked up, there's open mics in parks and stuff. And I hit open mics in the parks in Sacramento. And I feel like if it weren't for the pandemic, I never would have come back to comedy because I have a lot of anxiety and I'm a weird person. So I feel like if I were to come back because I took a whole damn near 2 years off of comedy. So I feel like if I were to come back to the stage, in the like pre-COVID times, I wouldn't have done it because I just would have fucking cowered in fear, like at the side of like a crowd. But it was easier coming back to do comedy in the park because it's only like fucking 4 or 5 people and like a microphone and a speaker.
See, that's a nightmare for me. 4 or 5 people all socially distanced.
So then I was like,
yes.
If I bomb, who gives a fuck? Because it's only 4 or 5 people. It's not like fucking 20 people. And then I started doing more research and I started like meeting up with a lot of my old comedy friends. And they're like, oh, hey, like there's this place in Chico called The Lab. That's where everybody's hitting. It's like a really great crowd because it's like probably the only
horrible comedians.
It's like the only open mic where you can hit where, you know, there's like an actual audience. And when I mean actual audience, I mean an audience of non-comedians because, like, you know, I feel like the Zoom mics, I don't know, like, I was doing a few Zoom mics and I was like, this isn't working for me because I need a real audience. I need, like, non-comedians present.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, because that way you get, like, a genuine reaction because a lot of comics, you know, they don't respond to jokes.
Well, it's because they don't care about you.
Yeah.
That's really why.
Well, also there's something inside comics are like, I don't want this person to succeed.
A lot of comics feel that way for sure.
Yeah, so then when I hit the lab for the first time, I was like, I don't know, I felt immediately home there. Like, I can't explain it. Like, I would come over there and I felt like there was like a genuine crowd and I feel like it just awoke this nostalgia in me for like, because when I first started doing comedy, I was like, when I was 18, 19, like, my parents were very, very controlling. So, like, when I went to my first open mic, you know, like, I was like, I shouldn't talk about this shit. My sister is probably going to watch this. But I would hit, the first time I ever did a set on stage at an open mic, I felt so powerful because I had so many people laughing and I felt like I could do anything. You know, at the time, like, my parents were beating the shit out of me and I feel like comedy, stand-up comedy gave me the strength to like tell my parents to go fuck themselves. Like, no,
sure.
Like, yeah. And so I ran away and I was homeless. I was homeless because of comedy, because I felt like comedy gives me so much strength. And like, I feel like, yeah, and there was a time when, so I left my family to pursue stand-up comedy, the only life that I've ever known. And I had nothing and nobody, because like the whole community, the whole Tongan community turned their backs on me. So I was hitting open mics while sleeping in like homeless shelters and transitional housing programs. And it's like, I'm like a very stylish dresser. So I would like scour through like Salvation Army donation bins to like make these hella sexy outfits to show up to open mics so nobody would know that I was homeless. And then I remember my biggest motivation for doing good in comedy was, so there was this one shelter that I was staying at. There was an 8 p.m. curfew. So if you weren't working past 8 p.m., you weren't allowed to come into the housing thing. So like I was so on my shit in comedy that I would lie to them. I would tell them
would
that
you say it's a paid gig?
I told them that I had a job and they would like let me stay out late. In reality, I was hitting open mics. I was taking buses 2 to 3 hours away to Rockland from downtown Sac. And one night I came back, it was in the dead of winter, and I showed up at like 9 o'clock and I was at the gates to this place and I was like, jingly, they locked it. And they told me, you can't come in, Paula. You can't come in because you stayed out past curfew because you don't have a job. And I was crying and screaming and begging them to open because
you were like, no shit, I don't have a job. I'm staying at the
It was yeah. And it was like 30 degrees outside and I was just wearing this little dress and this coat and I cried and screamed and begged and all the neighbors, they just watched me. And they didn't let me in that night, and one kid, he was nice enough to like throw his keys out the window to me, and he was like, "Hey, I got like that Toyota Civic, that Honda Civic that's parked by the stoplight over there. There's a blanket in the back. Just take a nap there." And
You should have stole his car.
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
I don't know how to. I would if I knew how to drive. And then like
Sucker.
I slept that night. I didn't sleep at all that night because it was so cold in the back of his car. But I just like, as I was like trying to force myself to fall asleep, I just told myself, one day this is gonna be worth it. And then like
now you're here on This Degenerate
yeah,
Life.
and then what happened was the next day, the staff members, they called me into their office and they told me, "Paula, stand-up comedy is not a job. Stand-up comedy is not a job. You're risking your place in the shelter because you're lying to staff and telling them that these are like, you're working on something, Then it's like, no, and like, how do I explain it? They were saying that comedy is not a job, it's not a career, it's not a good source of income, and they told me that like,
I mean, they're kind of dead on.
They're pretty.
yeah, they're right. No, they're right, but they were like, there's no future in comedy. That's what she told me straight up. She said like, you're chasing butterflies if you think that you have an actual future in comedy. And I just thought to myself, one day I'm gonna like look back at this and this whole conversation is gonna matter to me someday. Yeah. But,
Yeah.
So that's,
I said to like about that to like every girl that's ever dumped me. Like, one day, bitch. You're
dude.
gonna regret this. And then I just get fatter and fatter and fatter.
You know what's funny is you're not fat. This is a thing. So I'm Polynesian, I'm Tongan. So it's like you're white people fat, but for us Polynesians, you look normal. Like what the fuck? Because like
That's right. I'm just the wrong race.
Yeah, because guess what? Like, dude, my dad is like 6'4" and like 6'4", 6'5" and like 300 something pounds. And that's like normal.
I'm 5'8" and like 30 pounds away from that. So.
That's like fucking normal. I'm 5'10" and I weigh like 220 something. And that's just normal for Polynesians.
you weigh?
Like,
I don't know what I'm talking about. No, I weigh like
Let's guess. 240.
Guess 240.
I mean, that's not very nice of you guys.
I
I weigh like 10 pounds more than 250.
250?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
The thing with
Were
Excuse me. Oh, the thing about like Polynesians though is that Polynesian men, like Tongan, Samoan men, or Hawaiian dudes, like they're either built like Jason Momoa, or Maui from Moana, and there's no in between.
Yeah. I lived in Hawaii for a couple of years, so.
And then like Polynesian women, they're either built like a vertical infinity symbol or they're built like a refrigerator, and there's no in between. Like that's
it's true.
Gotta, like, yeah.
Either way, like if you're a Marine out on the town, you don't want to fuck with them. I've like been headbutted one time. I was like dancing with this girl. She's like, "No!" I'm like, what? And then like I turn around, and this fucking gigantic dude like fucking headbutts me.
Yeah, the thing about Polynesians is that like we're like the friendliest and kindest people on the planet until you get between like our food. And
or try to do stand-up comedy and pursue your dreams. And then they're like, get the
Yeah,
fuck out of our house.
Out of our house. Yeah.
We don't love you anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also in Hawaii they hate the Marine, like military. I say military,
Yeah,
which I
right.
get.
American.
A bunch of like no, just like they hate that they're a part of America. Some of them do, which I mean, it's like I don't know. You can debate that. I get that too.
Where in Hawaii were you?
Oahu.
Oahu.
Yeah.
Okay.
You which island did you live in, or did you live on
Kauai.
Kauai.
Hanalei.
Okay. I've only been to Oahu and the Big Island. But they're both great. I almost bought a house on the Big Island a long time ago.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That would have been a mistake.
Why?
I don't know. It's fucking expensive to live out there.
No. The Big Island's cheap.
Is it cheap?
Cheaper.
Well, would you really want to live out there, or would you?
No. I'll just have it as like a Airbnb and visit.
Yeah, that'd be actually pretty nice.
Yeah.
But as far as trying to do comedy, like, you're not going to Hawaii.
No.
Joe Coy does pretty well there. I think Joe Coy is like
Joe Coy does well anywhere. He could sell out Chico if he wanted to.
Right.
Yeah.
So.
Come to think of it, I'm thinking about it. I don't like really watch a lot of stand-up comedians. It's like
I watched less than I did before.
yeah, like my friends
I go through
like
phases.
yeah, because I hang out with some comics and they're like, oh, Chris D'Elia this, Tim Dillon this, and I'm like, fucking who? I've never watched this.
You know who they are now or no?
I've never watched a single set from Chris D'Elia or Tim Dillon or any of these people.
Chris D'Elia had a better podcast, in my opinion, than stand-up.
I don't know who that is. Like, I get a lot of my comedic inspiration from like a lot of the same people, or I just like I don't know, like.
Well, who are your like comedic heroes?
George Carlin, Bill Hicks, Mitch Hedberg, Tom Lehrer. Who else? Dave Chappelle, Richard Pryor. Who else am I thinking of? I don't know. More.
I got all mine from Jeff Dunham.
Jeff Dunham.
Mm-hmm. All of my material.
We saw it.
I stole
right
it
Dunham.
from one of his
What's
puppets.
that?
The right Dunham. I can't stand Lena Dunham. She's like,
Oh, yeah. What is it?
Fuck that bitch.
fuck that bitch.
Last name Dunham, too? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
Dunham. Oh, I didn't.
Dean Dunham. Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the girl from Girls, right?
Yeah, that show is so obnoxious.
I never saw it, but
Yeah.
I know her from, like, tweets.
I don't know. No, I don't want to get into that. Never mind.
Get into it.
Do it.
Yeah, that's why we're here.
I don't know. I feel like a lot of white women, they act weird around me. Like I trigger some deep insecurities inside.
How so?
them. Like
What's an example?
For instance, I was hanging with these German girls, and I met these German girls at the Sacramento River last summer, and they were good friends of mine because I speak 8 languages, and one of them is German. So they're like, "Oh, sie spricht Deutsch." Yeah, and then I caught, and they were like, I don't know. I feel like I was more of like, no, are they watching?
No one watches.
Sie schauen dieses Podcast. Okay.
My brother speaks German, but we don't talk.
Anyway,
Yes.
like
He also wears his mask.
He does, for sure.
no,
Doesn't
like
even
they were
fucking
like
do it.
hella. I don't know. I just triggered some kind of. I trigger a lot of insecurities in a lot of white women.
Think you're gonna kick their ass?
No, yeah. So what
Let's feel
happened
that.
was she was like, "Oh, Pala, we are going on this trip, and you have to make sure you stop having sex with random guys, because we can't afford to catch the virus."
Oh, you know how you're a big whore? Yes?
Pala.
No more. We're going on trip.
Yeah, they were like, Mädchen, you have to stop having sex with random guys because we can't afford to catch the virus and miss time off from work. And I was like,
The gas chamber must be closed.
the gas chamber is
That's
closed.
what they call your pussy.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, like, you don't have to worry about that. And they were like,
Make sure you wear the mask on your pussy when
and
you
I was
have
like,
I can't catch the COVID, yeah.
basta, stai pazzo. Quindi questa ragazza, like mi detto, questa ragazza mi detto, like Paula, you still so having sex with that, and I was like, no, you don't have to worry about that. I don't even sleep around like that. And she was like, oh, I hope we can trust you with that. And I was like, y'all bitches are weird. I'm like, y'all bitches are weird. Like, I was at this one place, this karaoke bar up in this fuck nowhere town called Penryn. I'm sorry, Penryn residents. But we were like at this karaoke bar, and I was just on the dance floor.
Were you
like,
with Lola?
that was probably where I met Lola. But like I was on the dance floor just like twerking my fucking ass, you know, just me being me, and these white girls were hella mad. They were like, girl, what are you doing? Oh, you save some ass for the rest of us? You still I was like, fuck you. Like, I don't have anything against white women. I'm sorry. Like, a lot of them just have some random issue with me. Like,
They're the worst though, right?
white women.
Yeah. Woke white women, I would say.
Can we talk about white men? How about that?
Sure.
Y'all are okay.
They're great.
You're not white, you're pink. So it's okay. Like
Some people think I'm Mexican sometimes.
That's because your goatee looks like shit. And
Your
you're fat.
goatee.
Yeah, I can't really grow a mustache.
They're like, he's fat and he's got like pubes on his face.
Yeah, his face.
So, yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
That's probably true.
You look like a Mexican with a dust job.
There's
There's no sun exposure.
They
Yeah.
look at you and they're like, they ask you like, point, where's the Home Depot?
No sé, no.
Yo no sé.
No sé, so. I gotta pee.
Okay.
Excuse me.
You want me to give you guys a topic, Charlie?
Give us a break and we'll come right back.
I gotta pee.
Okay, so edit this.
Yeah.
it's-
I'm probably not gonna edit it.
Okay, I just like.
The only person that watches this is Aaron Harned, so.
Bro, I can't believe that I spent like $104 to be here.
You're fucking wild.
Yeah, I was supposed to come here with like Dane and what is his name, Ponyo, these new kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're like, oh, we got a full car, you can't take you. And they're like, everybody's got a fucking full car coming to Chico, so that's why it's kind of hard coming up.
You gotta buy yourself a car.
Yeah, I'm trying to learn how to drive. I've always been scared. The reason why my dad would tell me some shit like I would ask him to like teach me how to drive, and he was like, why do you need to learn how to drive when you have brothers who can drive you places? Is there like some place you're trying to go that you don't want us to know about? And I was like, yeah. Driving to the fucking strip club.
Protective parents always.
You got no lock for your door?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a lock for my door. I literally.
You get a lock for your door,
I'm
guy.
100% after, dude. It's just like.
I meant to suggest that to you before we started. Like, you should get a lock.
Yeah. It's going down for sure. Cause it's just like. He's like, you want me to get out of here? I'm like, yeah.
Well, it's like
that's fucking bullshit.
it's kind of like almost like a bullying. Like,
No, it is. That's how he operates because he's gone to prison.
yeah.
So
What are you gonna do in your little podcast?
Oh, your dad's been to prison too.
Does he know? Does he know? My
dad's he's a convict. Like he's done prison time.
My
He
dad
takes
is
pride in being like. He's not. He's one of those people that is like, yeah, if that fucking guy came into my cell and he was a child molester, I'd have to kill him.
My dad is a crip. My dad's done some shit. My dad hasn't been to like, I think. I don't know. He has hella stories to tell that he hasn't bothered to tell his kids.
You wanna have this?
Yeah. Bro, I'm trying to change my Instagram name to Fermented Bong Water 69 just to see like what happens. It's like, ayo, follow me on Fermented Bong Water 69.
I thought your dad was gonna try to buy him all this kind of shit.
Yeah, they probably this month.
I'm just gonna out myself, you know. I don't know.
It's annoying.
I'll just like.
Bruh. Fuck this shit.
It was funny though.
So it was fine.
Yeah.
Where you got this bitch ass lighter from? You got this tweaker ass lighter.
That would be a Bic.
A Bic?
Yeah, those are pretty standard.
Bro, y'all got me fucked up.
I don't ever want to see Paula on the road.
What?
I don't want to see Paula driving. You can't even light the bong. Oh, bro.
I don't even smoke.
Like a lot of weed. You want to hit one now?
Nah. It's more of an end of the night kind of thing.
After cocaine.
Yeah. I can't believe I slept that night, honestly.
After one bump.
It was nuts, though, right?
I've never done cocaine.
I did a bump just so this dude could get a bump.
He said it was very kind.
I was like, I didn't want to do this. They're like, what? Like, well, I guess I'm gonna do it.
Yeah. Literally, when they gave it to me, like some of it fell on the floor. I was like, because the guy was like, giving it to me, and it was just like, I could just see it. And I think he did too, and he was just like, but we both just let it go. He was like, I'm not gonna fuck this guy up over this right now.
Oh, did you, like, blow out?
No, I just didn't all go in my nose. Like, some of it, like, hang right there, and it was just like, I didn't snort in hard enough. Because you gotta really clear your airway.
That was, like, the first time I took coke in, like, 8 years.
Well, y'all are comics, then. You do coke.
I don't do coke.
He does coke, probably.
Not much, no. But you're right. Most comics do coke.
I've never done coke.
Coke's awesome.
Well, maybe you should start.
I don't need it. I'm already crazy enough.
All right, let's get.
Hyperactive as is.
Let's wrap this shit up.
All right.
It's already we gotta go over the live pretty soon.
You got anything you want to plug? Paula, thanks for coming on, by the way.
Thanks for being here, Palataisi.
What do you mean plug?
Like your social media or any shows you got coming up, or
yeah, I'm doing 2 roast battles this month. On the 13th against the Adonis Bro, and on the 27th against Daniel.
What's it like roasting an imaginary person?
Yeah,
What is that like?
roasting an imaginary person.
Because like if I wanted to roast an Easter bunny, that's what I feel like if I roasted the Adonis Bro. Because he's not real.
Yeah.
He's Mitch fucking Valentine, who's also not real. I realized that halfway as I was saying it.
You know what's funny is now that he's deleted his Facebook page as Mitch, like I don't like sometimes I'll be like, is he calling him Mitch?
I can't help it.
People will be like, who's your friend? And I'm like, I don't know. No idea.
What name are you going by right now?
I go, this is the Adonis's nephew. That's how I introduce him now. It's the only accurate way to do it.
Okay, so roast battles. What dates again?
On the 13th and 27th.
Okay, what's your social media?
Guantanamo _Bay 8799.
Is your Instagram, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Did you want to?
I don't have anything I want to plug.
Do you have anything you guys want to ask me before we leave? Like, you have any questions?
What should we ask you? What do you look
I don't
for?
know anything. Like,
All right, before we go, what's your best set you've ever had, and what's the worst set you've ever had?
We do normally do or not normally. We've done 5 questions in the past twice, and I just discontinued that because he didn't help.
Because I'm absolutely the flakiest.
He edits, and I should be respectful of that,
But he's not.
But I'm not. I'm like, you asshole, you didn't try. And then he has to edit it.
And he's right. He's right.
Okay, so anyways, what were the questions? Best set, worst set?
Best set, worst set.
Probably my best set was this Monday, the Alameda mic.
Your best set was this Monday.
Yeah, in
That's
Alameda.
Crazy. You got up on the Alameda mic?
Yeah, and then my worst set was probably
the set right before it at fucking...
No. My last set before I took my hiatus, it was on my 20th birthday at the Comedy Spot in 2019. That was my worst set.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that was my worst set. That was
I like that you remember the date.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. That was my worst set.
Well, what was your birthday?
April 28th.
Oh,
shoot, another plug right there.
Yeah.
Another plug.
That was my worst.
You give it a cash app or something? Then
Shut up.
She needs it. She spent $100 to be here.
She did. That's wild to me.
Yeah.
I get it. I've done shit like that. I took the Greyhound down to do.
You did, didn't you?
To do the podcast with Gag on this podcast.
Right.
Oh yeah, and rock.
It wasn't that wasn't very expensive though. The ticket was $30 for a round trip. But it was a long ass day. I had to get down there in the morning, and then it was 3-hour layover. Then I went to fucking almost a Folsom, and I'm just walking around with fucking nothing to do before another layover back to Rockland. It was pretty close to the Comedy Spot or the Blacktop.
Yeah.
And I was drunk as shit because I had nothing to do. So I was I went to this Irish pub and I just did fucking Irish car bombs all day, and then I went on the podcast and burned bridges and arranged relationships.
Bro, it's a different breed. You guys that can drink by themselves. I can't do it.
Yeah.
Do you ever drink by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer it honestly, especially if I don't know anybody there. There was people there that are trying to be friendly and stuff, and I'm gonna be fuck off.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah,
I picked you up that night. I remember.
That's right. That was my plan. Then we did Mars's show probably.
Yeah, that's right.
High water. Or did he even let us up?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. We probably bombed.
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
My mom doesn't remember.
I
had a great set. I remember.
I was bombed to high water.
Well, thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Her dad's a crip, so don't fuck with her.
Yeah, don't fuck with her dad.
He threw her hands to her, so she's got pretty good boxing skills, I would guess. Is that true?
Probably.
Let's see. Let's see a 1-2 on Dylan.
You're wearing entirely too much. You're wearing way too much red for your dad to be a crip.
Stop it.
You're right. That's why he disowned you, huh?
Oh my god.
That's that.
You guys are idiots.
We're gonna die. Alright, well, fucking, thanks for watching, everybody. I think this has been a good episode. Let us know. Thanks again, Palataisi.
Yeah. Later.
Peace out.